Good morning. It is Tamara Hunter, and we have Kevin Beverly. How are you this morning?
I am awesome. How are you?
I am having a bit of a problem here with my system. He is showing that he's frozen, but I know he's not. Uh-oh. You're here.
I'm here.
You know what? I'm having problems with my system. So guys, forgive me. It's mine. And so if I overtalk you at all, trying to figure out how I can do this, but we're just going to go live. We're just going to keep going. All right. So we've been busy, you and I, haven't we?
Sure.
You're always busy. You know, let's talk about what it is that you do, because it's going to make it even that much fun for everybody. Why don't you introduce yourself to, okay?
Awesome. So, hi, everyone. Nice to see all of you. Spirit hands, whatever you want to call it. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I am Kevin Beverly, also known as Kev Bev. I'm the awesome gentleman that gets to create special moments on camera. So, I am a videographer. But it's not what I do, it's how I can serve other people, so in telling their stories. So the amazing Tamara and I have done some awesome work together here in the past, but it's always a pleasure when I get to connect and check in to see how she's doing. So it's more of how can we help other people and actually just listen to how we can make a difference for them. Aside from any video work that I do, I'm always about how's it you're doing? Like, people always ask that question, how is someone actually doing? And then you should follow up with, like, how are you really doing? So
yeah, and that's one thing you were really good at, and you always seem to get me to cry. What's with that? Oh, and by the way, yes, Aaron, so glad you're here with us, and Carol Brown too. Thank you for letting us know that you can hear us without a problem. And Aaron, yes, for your honor. It's now almost becoming a joke, but I gave the elf on the shelf a buddy this morning. As you can see here, we've got Rudolph has shown up, and Santa might be missing him, but right now we've got him here. And so, yes. Okay. So let's get to that. You got some moves, and you actually used those not long ago, right?
Yeah. So I was recently asked to participate in a video, and it's basically a simple video where you use probably a 20-second snippet of, how important and how awesome Tamara is. At the same time, I had a feeling nobody was going to do what I was going to do. It was a little bit of a stretch. It's one thing to be behind the camera. It's another to be in front of the camera. So I got to do a little dance, a little shimmy, while, shaking my booty at the same time. Certain parts of my dance made the cut and some of them did not. So,
well, I have friends in high places, and so we're going to see how we can maybe show some of the ones that didn't make it. But right now, let's do this. We're going to show the video that was done. It was produced by Skip Thomas, one of our other videographers within our organization, the Dream Team, and it was many of the volunteers participated. I understand that some of the volunteers that sent information in and some clips in didn't quite make it. So I'm excited to possibly see version number 2 at some point. We'll see what happens with that. So I'm going to screen share. I have to fix the sound, I think. So please, guys, let me know how we're doing with sound. I'm still learning this broadcasting system. Okay, so here we go.
Hi, Tamara. I just want to let you know that I'm super proud of you and I admire you in so many ways. And no matter what, I've always got your back and I love you so much.
There comes a time I look to the sky, a rainbow appears, and I wonder why. I see your face above the clouds, your whispers heard among the crowds. So if you're asking if I've been cold, I have. Who can stand within the storm? I can see the sea reaching hand to hand. We are, and what may block our way, we climb, build a better day. We will.
Hey Tamara, I just want to tell you I love the person you are and who you are for the world. Just thank you for being a great example of what a loving human being can be. Congratulations on Chemo Buddies for Life.
Hey Tamara, I just wanted to say how proud I am of you and that I love you so much. I am here on this journey with you this year, and we're going to bring this to where it needs to be. And I love you. I got you and I got your back, and anything you need from me this year with Chemo Buddies, I'm going to be there with you. I love you so much. Take care, honey. Bye. Thanks for all you do. Bye.
You did amazing. We are so proud of you that you're the buddy of buddies, to be there, to dedicate your life, to wake up every morning. No one is paying you. Nobody's sending you a paycheck. This comes from your heart to others that are suffering and going through hard times.
You are the magic that makes things happen. Thank you so much for breathing and being you. We've got your back.
Hello, I love you and I got your back. Let's keep moving forward. We got lots of work to do.
Just wanted to let you know that I am so thrilled to be a part of what Chemo Buddies is doing and to be a part of your ministry outreach. And I want you to know that we love you and we appreciate all the hard work you've gone to.
Tamara, I'm here for you. You know why I'm here. And you know how much I love and care for you and this mission. We're in this together, the dream team for the long haul, baby. Let's do it.
Not going to get out of these clothes until we reach your goal, which is $50,000. Let's do this some more. I love you, my sister. You are an angel. Mahalo.
Hey, Tamara Hunter, you are amazing, and I'm so blessed to have found another Tamara in my life, and really proud of you and all that you do to inspire myself and others, and fighting to make sure that other people know that they are not alone in this world. That means a lot, and I appreciate you very much.
We all love you. I love you. You are a rock star, and I always got your back. Always got your corner. Always got your side, your front, your left, your right, whichever you so choose.
Miss Tamara L. Hunter, will Chemo Buddies for Life be a success? Yes, it will. I am with you.
Just wanted to let you know how much I really enjoy doing the Chemo Buddies for Life Give-A-Thon. I want you to know how much I love you and I appreciate that opportunity. Thank you so much. God bless you. And, let's go out there and get that $50,000.
This has been an incredible journey for me, and I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of this incredible journey that you're creating. And it's helped me grow so much in so many areas. And I just want to reach out and say that I love you. And thank you for everything that you're doing for Chemo Buddies for Life.
Hey, Tamara, wanted to take a quick minute and thank you for the opportunity to get to work with Chemo Buddies. It sure has been a blessing in my life. I want you to know that you are an inspiration. You give all you have, and you are just honestly an amazing, amazing individual. I'm grateful to be part of your team and look forward to all the things that we're going to accomplish together.
Hey Tamara, we just wanted to say thank you so much for putting together the Chemo Buddy. I loved hosting with you, and Lexi, did you have fun being on the show? Yeah. She had a great time. So thanks for giving us this opportunity to care and love and share and be part of your dream and what you're creating. We love you. Signing off, Ruth and Lexi.
Hey Tamara, who's going to support you in the future? 2020, we are.
Who's going to help you wherever in the world? We are.
Tamara Hunter, it's going to take me a whole lot longer than 30 seconds to ever say how much I love you, how much I admire you, appreciate you, acknowledge you. I acknowledge you for your strength, your tenacity, your vision, your why, your ability that no matter what, that you're going to go for the goal, and it's all service oriented to help others. I'm proud of you. Thank you for the Give-A-Thon. Thank you for who you are, and thank you for being a friend. Cheers with my coffee. Bye.
Tamara, I love you. You're awesome. I am here for you, and just know how important you are to all of us.
Tamara, I just want you to know how amazing, incredible, and motivational you are. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for bringing so much joy into my life. We will.
And remember, you're a masterpiece in progress.
Tamara, you inspire us with the spirit of I can.
I will.
Just keep doing what you're doing, because it's okay. You're doing everything right.
Love ya. Got your back. Who's going to be there for you more than Todd and anyone else on the face of the planet? I am.
Tamara, if you are wondering who is with you, we are. When asked who is willing to face the challenge to serve those alone and in pain, we will.
So Tamara, who's really making a difference in this world? You are. And together we will.
So if you're asking if I've been cold, I am. Who can stand within the storm? I can. See the sea reaching hand to hand. We are. What may block our way, we climb, build a better day. We will.
I will.
We will.
We will. Bam.
Oh my. Yeah, Erin said it tears. She tears every time she sees it. It's like I do. And yet, I love the fact that you went ahead and did the comedy with it. Was it meant to be comedy?
It just came out how it came out.
And I love you, and I, it's interesting because I know that you guys did that for me. However, it was for me and it was for the buddies. And this song, if anybody doesn't recognize the song, it's because it is an original song by Skip Thomas. He wrote it, and of course he played the guitar, and then he had everybody send in these clips, right, to sing, and there's some tracks in there that Andrea actually sang kind of the soprano background too. And so we have Andrea Banfield, we have Skip Thomas, and then the supporting cast of volunteers, of which I love the moves, Kevin. So, and really what this all comes down to is that all of us got together because we are building a movement. We are building a community of people that those that are affected by cancer and feeling very alone, that they don't have to any longer. And right now, as we finish up the holiday season and we have, this theme of buddies, but we also are doing hugs. And who doesn't want a hug, right, Kevin?
Everybody needs a hug, whether you realize it or not. So it's basically anywhere that you go, there's so many opportunities. It may seem strange to some people, but just to ask, hey, can I give you a hug? Could literally alter someone's day or alter a choice they're about to make that's permanent.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that's so important for people to understand is that this time of year, I mean, we have all this fun stuff that we do, all the decorating, all of the holiday movies and the cheer and the get-togethers, but there's so many people that are out there at this point in time and during the holidays, especially when they are feeling alone, it makes it even that much more of a I'm alone feeling, right? And we had one of our buddies that had actually reached out, and I was so proud of her for doing this. And she said, you know what, I'm feeling very alone right now. And she knows that the community will embrace her. And so I brought it to the leadership team last night, and they're like, you know what, let's do a whole hugs campaign. So that's where we decided to do the hugs, because for a hug and we're doing the hug donations because this is all about alleviating the stress of the holidays, to be able to let someone know you care. And we have our technical team that is actually creating on our website, cb4l.org, that they're going to create a whole hugs campaign there too. So yes, if you can donate a hug of $25, $50, $100, Jason last night was saying $25 or $25,000 or $2,500, and I'm like, okay, we'll take it, because what it will do is translate to, think about that person that's feeling isolated and alone, going through cancer, maybe just had surgery, and we have a story. We have one that just went through surgery and actually doesn't have family in the area. We are their family, and their dog is their family, and their dog had to go away for a little while because of the fact that she couldn't take care of him. She just had surgery, and I was really concerned about that. I actually called, and I was worried. I was hoping that it wasn't a permanent separation, and she's like, no, it's not. However, right now I can't have him there. And that absolutely ripped my heart apart. It was like, okay, I know you're feeling alone. And so the virtual hug, I love you, others love you, we're reaching out to this buddy, and I know that right now times are tough, not only alone, but financially. And to be able to help someone, to help them with, Jason was so cute too. He says, help them with flowers, help them to make them feel better, and others were saying, yeah, what about chocolates or to help with the finances of a bill, or to be able to send them a care package, and so that they can do with the healing through art and painting, anything, right? I mean, it's all about the thought too. And so they're also creating that you can donate a hug. And if you can't donate a hug financially, you can go and you can write down a hug. You can leave a comment of a hug. And let's see what the comments are. So what do you think about all of that?
Short thing would be called Hug-A-Nation.
Oh, you are good. You always come up with that stuff. Hug-A-Nation.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Okay, Aaron is here. You want to write down Hug-A-Nation? I love it. We need a whole, that's hashtag Hug-A-Nation.
Mm-hmm.
So now we had a Give-A-Thon. Now we have Hug-A-Nation. I love it. I'm going to give you a hug right now for that. Hug-A-Nation.
Oh,
yes, Hug-A-Nation. Hashtag Hug-A-Nation. You you came out to my area, and I want to highlight your abilities because you are an incredible film maker. I mean, you know, to me, your genius is in telling the story. Why don't we talk about that? What got you into that? Because I know a little bit about your background, and you were like studying to become one thing, and you're going after it, and then all of a sudden, you're out there telling the story, and you have a way of being able to tell it that I've had you tell a couple stories for me with your film. Talk about that.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I've recently been told to really like get into other people's worlds, so it's great you get to ask, but I'm so interested in other people. But to give you some cliff notes, I went to college for photography, and I hated videography. Pretty interesting. I went to a photography photo shoot. It was a really large one that was in Scottsdale. I was working a ton of hours at a job that I was kind of unsure of why I was there. So it was like the actual first event that I'd ever gone to. And in that room, which I think Tamara and I know that we discover things in rooms.
Yeah, and people, like that's where I discovered you.
Yeah. In that room, she's like, if you're not happy with what you're doing, then you should like actually go after what you want to do. And she continued, and that whole period of time, it's probably 10, 15 minutes, I was crying for most of it. Because I was like, I hate what I'm doing. Why am I even doing stuff like this? So I started to really pursue photography. And then over a period of time, fast forward a few years, I was in a mastermind which forced me to step in front of the camera. It was all around digital marketing. So from there, I got to discover the power of video. And for whatever reason, I noticed that video is like, very similar to photography. It's just there are frames within a video. So it kind of was like, why did I not want to do this for so long? It was a false belief. And then from there, I got to really start to create videos. At the time, it was, not in the greatest of places. You got to jump to figure out where you're going to land. So, and sometimes you kind of create all sorts of interesting experiences along the way. So, and then when I met Tamara, it was an interesting time in my world. I was in the middle of a breakup of a relationship, so my heart was very heavy. All my emotions were in one place, and I didn't know where to actually channel them. So when we created our first video together, I channeled every piece or every emotion I had into that video, and when it was played in that room, I noticed that several people were very much impacted, including this Tamara Hunter. So, and we've continued our relationship ever since. So, I'm always grateful for the lessons that we learn and the people that we get to meet and our vision that we get to create. So.
And we're going to share the video right now that you did, the first one that you actually, and I want to thank you for coming to my my aide at the time, because this is when I was running for the next impactor for Chemo Buddies for Life. And I didn't declare Chemo Buddies as the name because I wanted to be able to share more of the overall story. But the platform was Chemo Buddies, and one of the assignments for the next impactor was a very difficult assignment for me to face. And I called upon you, and I'm like, will you come and do this? And will you kind of like hold my hand? Because I have to go back to a place in my life and time that was not an easy journey for me. And you were like, okay, yeah, let's look at this calendar. I'll come. So you came, you stayed, and you went with me and a few of my friends from when I was growing up. I don't want to get teary, but it was like they all knew how difficult this journey was going to be, because some people think, oh yeah, going back to your hometown, because that was what this was the hometown video. It's even hard to say. And it was not an easy journey for me to take. However, it was the journey that I was given a task. And in doing that, in that day, the two of us going down to my hometown, it was, oftentimes when you rip off that Band-Aid, when you face something that you've needed to, you've created almost a bigger situation than it really possibly even was. But the story behind the story, you actually captured it, and you've now told it in 2 different videos. We're going to share the one, and then we're going to share the second one, and then we'll kind of tell the story, because it goes along with Chemo Buddies for Life in a huge way. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. It takes me just a second to set it up. And then let's see here. It's that one. All right. So.
For those of you that are watching, just keep in mind how powerful like a hug could be in different situations. Because I know when Tamara and I created this, went out and did filming, I was extremely emotional. And I know she was as well. She was like a faucet, but it would have, within our own creative ways, a hug would be so powerful, because you never know the battles that people are facing, right? So, because typically we tend to have our battles alone. Nobody knows. So, without further ado, back to you.
Right. Thank you for sharing that, because both of us were at a place in time at this very moment in time when we did go and do this filming, that we actually did. We were there for each other with a hug. Mm-hmm. And not everybody that's facing cancer always has that opportunity to have that hug. And that's what Chemo Buddies for Life is actually doing, is we are giving them a friend, someone that cares, and then that friend in their life now can give them that hug, either if they're there together or if it's a virtual hug. But our brains and our hearts and our minds, they will remember the hug. And that's what's so important. So without further ado, as you said, let's do this.
So Tamara, yeah, sounds very professional. But growing up in Lakeside, it was always Tammy, and I can't help myself. I still call her Tammy.
Tammy became part of our family because of things going on with her biological family. And so she learned a lot during that period of time of how to pull herself up by the bootstraps and really becoming a leader and very much an independent person.
My house, you can see the back of it. When I look at this house,
I remember it's kind of like that book, you know, the best of times and the worst of times. I actually haven't been back here for years because I couldn't face it. Right there is my room's window. And I can remember some of the greatest dreams and goals and just who I am and who I was going to grow up to be. You know, those thoughts, those dreams were spun there in that room. I'm grateful for all the lessons that this house and this neighborhood and the people in it, the people that I grew up with, I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for the experiences. I'm grateful because it made me who I am. And I'm grateful for this challenge because I don't know that I would have done this. I don't know that I would have faced this if it hadn't been for it. All right. There's my dance. So great. You know, and every time I see that, I always go back to it, and you and I both probably want to crack up. Room.
Yeah.
You know, but that. What was that like for you? You know, when we were filming, because you were able to take because we filmed a whole day, and you were able to take some of that film and then create what you created next. And what was that like behind the camera?
It's sometimes when I edit certain things, it's great. This one was extremely unique. So the filming part was simple. It was a little strange. Walking in the middle of the road with cars going by.
But you got that great shot of Lakeside, you know, and the banner there. Yeah, and you did it a couple times. Like, oh, that's not exactly what I want.
Yeah.
I'll go back. Like, ah.
Yeah, at first you don't succeed. Try to be run over again. It's willing to be able to go outside of the norm to really capture what you have in your mind. So it's taking the thoughts that I have up here and literally channeling them into the camera. So I'm just the facilitator to tell someone's story, and the camera's the way of doing so. Filming was, for me, the way I kind of tell people is filming is the easy part. And when you're in the editing room, that's where the challenge is. And so, you know, most of my clients, they basically see me film and they have an idea of maybe what it will look like. But in the editing room, nobody gets to see all the stuff that I was, you know, putting together. For this video, I was literally like extremely emotional. So it was probably a great lesson is the more emotions I channel into projects, the more people feel the emotions. So huge lesson. I'm so grateful. And anytime I watch that video, my heart is like saddened. And it's like a reminder of this is a new chapter. So I feel it so much in my heart. It's incredibly powerful.
And you know, the one thing that, and I can just attest to that, because when that video played in Chicago on August the 30th, the night that the crown came for the win for Tamara Hunter and Chemo Buddies for Life, everybody told me there wasn't a dry eye in the room. The emotion came through and through like the room, but you know, and I'm not trying to make light of, all the coaches, all the people that were involved, because they had seen the video before it was played. Mm-hmm. And they had told me afterwards, each one of them kind of pulled me aside and said that it got to them. And that, when you're telling a story, and the story continues, and we're going to talk about that because it really goes along with the whole project of Chemo Buddies for Life and what we're doing with the HUG project. Because cancer is not only something that affects families and individuals, and it can be environmental, it can be social, it can be genetics, it can just be for whatever reason. We don't completely understand it. Some people do, but I certainly don't completely understand. I understand what I've experienced, and then what motivated me and inspired me, along with my original buddy, of which there's been footage of her, Martha, and she and I and our journey together. And that is that in my case, the original person, the first person of the 5 in 4 generations was my grandfather, which was my mother's father. And then we talk a lot about my mom, and there was just the time in life that is referenced was that there was a period of time in my mother's life. We all have them. That was very, very difficult. And part of that was because my grandfather ended up with cancer. And my grandfather was my mother's hero, was my hero, which is not an uncommon thing. And so then when that hero person ends up with cancer, and then my mother during this time, she was diagnosed with a very rare kidney disease. And she didn't handle all of it well, of course. I mean, that's a lot for anybody to take in. And so then she kind of freaked out. And that's why I ended up with my friend's family. And it was a very difficult time. A divorce took place. This is the reality that sometimes happens when people get sick. What can be the best of times, which, in that little neighborhood, a one-horse town kind of thing, because literally Lakeside is one of those kind of things. It's known for having a rodeo right on the property at the high school and big, huge 4-H projects and everything. And yet, because of cancer coming to our family, and then my mother being diagnosed that she's dying, my grandfather dies, and my mother thinks she's dying, and then a miracle takes place. She doesn't, because of a car accident. Yet her life is forever changed because she had 6 of her vertebrae shattered. And then my brother ends up with cancer, then my daughter ends up with cancer, then I end up with cancer. And it's not uncommon that these family dynamics end up changing because of this disease. And with a hug, with having someone there for you, with having someone there to possibly, if my mother would have had Chemo Buddies for Life back when my grandfather was diagnosed and died, and then when she was diagnosed, it very well could have changed the whole dynamics. I'll never know. However, going back to that journey together with you was huge for me because I finally faced some of these emotions as a teenager, preteen, teen, that ended up shaping me. And since that journey, it really has brought together a full circle for me of what this project is all about with Chemo Buddies and why it's so important and how we can help the patient and those people that love and support them, and generationally how we can actually possibly start changing the way cancer is done and bringing more health and wellness and love and humor and heart and happiness and all of those type of amazing emotions together. And so that we can then, you know, I want to break the cycle of cancer in my family. I've got one child that was diagnosed with it, and I want it to end there. No more. No more. That's the intention, right?
I think Fred Rogers said it best. It's just some people just don't understand their own emotions, right? It's the ability to actually just, you know, and some of the stuff that he brought to light was just really, really powerful. He didn't literally need to say it, but he would say it in a way that would impact people. So incredibly powerful man in his own right. So, and a lot of his teachings and stuff are still impacting children, impacting adults even. So, because everybody remembers that, well, obviously Mr. Rogers, his show, but also, I mean, this could be something for Tamara's, with all of the work and all the team work that people have gone into, like or Chemo Buddies for Life, when she has her Give-A-Thons. Remember those days when Tamara was starting Give-A-Thons and making a difference? Wearing her awesome hat and her buddies and stuff in the background, like.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, like, okay, yeah, we love hats around here. You like that look?
Oh yeah, beautiful. It's so shiny.
You know, I love it with the laughter and everything, because, you know, and we are talking about buddies and we're talking about hugs, and I want everybody to know you can become a buddy today. And I was being told last night by our leadership meeting that our technical team even helped with some of our bugaboos that we've been having with signing buddies up. So if you've gone and you wanted to sign up to become a buddy and then you ended up having a problem, it's, from what I understand, it's been fixed. So go to CB4L to the tab Be a Buddy and sign up to become a buddy. We are having our first buddy experience since we've now started the technical, because it's all been organic and it's been more, you know, one-on-one and putting together people by the phone and this and that. But now we're moving into that next level of the movement and the community. And today we are in our closed group having our welcome. So I'm excited about that. Everybody that is one of our buddies, make sure that you're in the closed group, that you've accepted your notification and your and we are going to be having, Aaron will be there, and who knows, we may have other guests that will show up. And we're just going to be welcoming everybody to the community and kind of talking about what it is that we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, because it's going to be fun. We've got some fun activities planned. We've got lessons and just, you know, fun. We want everybody also to print off, get their celebration journal, because we're going to be working with those and helping everybody to realize that they have buddies. They can go get a hug, a virtual hug. They can share what's going on with them. And so that's starting today. I'm so excited about that, Kevin. I mean, you've been around now for a while with me. And what have you noticed in regards to this whole program now?
It impacts, I would say everyone, but people that aren't really aware. I mean, in the world of cancer, people go about life, you know, I got to do this on my own. They tend to resist any sort of treatment potentially, right? And when you bring in a buddy, it really kind of halts that process. Be like, hey, I don't have to do this alone. And they could also, you know, have that support where it's not all serious. Yeah, there's an intention of, you know, it's a disease, but at the same time, you have someone there that can really hold your hand, and you also have an accountability buddy, right? So it's not just, hey, did you check in for your appointment. Did you do this? Did you do that? Like, I'm not too familiar with a lot of the processes, but I'm assuming just from a doctor's perspective, having someone that can hold each other accountable, as well as kind of support. Everybody has a good day, but also when you have the bad days, even whether it's in business or anything, it's nice to know that someone is there that you can call upon that will make a difference.
Absolutely. And that's a great lead into the video that you just created that we're going to be showing for the very first time today. And that was, and what I asked Kevin to do, because I know that we had filmed together and there was still some footage that we could use. And then I had some footage that was filmed like 2.5 years ago. I think it was close. It was over 2 years ago. And it was with my original buddy and with our doctor, and you were able to put this all together, because what I really wanted to have was a legacy piece so that people will understand at some point in time when I'm not on for 36 hours. Someone else is taking that. Someone else is running the Give-A-Thon. That's going to be, yes, we're putting it out there. We're going to own Giving Tuesday, and we will become at some point like the Jerry Lewis Telethon, that everybody is looking forward to it. It's going to be huge. It's going to be amazing. And it will bring awareness that no one should ever face cancer or anything like this alone, that community is the way to handle the stressors that life brings. And in handling it together and in a healthy way, it could actually change the way our bodies, go forward. And I just have so much hope, and I know that so many others do, because they've been joining us. So you actually created this legacy piece, and we're going to show it. So I'm going to get it set up right now, and we're going to watch one more video, all of us together. Takes me just a second. All right, let's do this.
My name is Tamara Hunter. I am the executive director and co-founder of Chemo Buddies for Life. We believe in healing through connections within a buddies network. I'd like to tell you a little bit of how I got here. I have a story that was something that I wasn't necessarily excited about going back and visiting, but after a day of going to my hometown, Lakeside, California, I actually come back to realize my life has been a full circle. I had a mother that believed in me. She gave me hope. She gave me an understanding of myself. And I only believed. I really wish that my mom was still alive, so I could just have an opportunity to heal that time in our life, because it was a pretty tough time for us all. We did a lot of healing before she passed. And she's my why behind why I do what I'm doing with Chemo Buddies.
I'm Dr. Wade Smith. I'm a medical oncologist, a hematologist. I specialize in breast cancer, and I work here at Breastlink. There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected. And I think, again, getting back to the care, as both of you know, you're there for each other. So sometimes the things you have to do just in the course of chemotherapy to keep yourself strong and together, it's hard to do at the end of the day, certain tasks. To have somebody else there to kind of be that reminder saying, no, you need to have your lab done. No, you need to make that appointment. We need that. We need that in our lives. Absolutely.
I've been building Chemo Buddies for Life. And when we went to the park, it reminded me when I watched the geese and had an experience with one of them. It was like I became a buddy with that goose, and the two of us then walked to the lake. And as we walked to the lake, introduced me to that buddy, their buddy. And there was a moment in time, and it was like, you know what? Everybody needs a buddy. Everybody needs a buddy. And that is why I am so driven and will not stop until that happens.
Bring a buddy, bring 2 buddies, bring your whole family. I'll get everybody into my office. I think that it's important that patients feel comfortable with understanding what they're being told in terms of the nature of their condition, their prognosis, and what treatment options are available.
Chemo Buddies for Life, healing through connections within a buddy's network.
You did it. You know, you're able to tell the story in such an impactful, emotional, and amazing way. I love the way I just noticed in watching the geese there, I didn't realize that it even looked like they were making a heart with their necks. And, I was like, wow. Each time I look at these videos and the way that you film things, and you do, you're right there, it's like, you see it. He even had me singing, and that's somewhere too. And little did I know. Anyway, so in filming that one and editing it, because I asked you again, if you wouldn't mind doing this, and you did. What did you learn when you were looking through all of the footage, like from the doctor and everything? Did you learn anything new about what it is that we're doing?
Yeah, well, it was nice because I got to actually step into the shoes of you and a little bit more of your story. At the same time, I got to really kind of, what is it like to be a patient, right? Well, what would the message be if I was a patient that would make a difference, right? So, and I think, like, how can you relate to being someone's buddy? Well, everybody needs a buddy, right? Which led me to that. I knew that was in there somewhere. I just was like looking to see, how can this fit? What's the message? Where can I put this? Right. And and there was just something about that moment with you and the geese that really stood out to me, because you even mentioned there's something that's really unique. I didn't talk to the one little goose to let's walk to the lake together. How does that happen? And then so he you guys just walk to the lake, and then he's like, here's my buddy. And then it kind of hit you. Everybody needs a buddy. Yeah. Enters the Chemo Buddies for Life. And it's so true. That statement itself is so true, because everybody does need a buddy. Everybody needs a hug. Yeah. Everybody needs something, because when they're having one of their challenging days, a hug could go a long way, a handshake, a high five. It's physically impossible not to smile if you give someone a high five. So it's literally psychological or something. I don't know how it happens, but if you give someone a high five, they automatically smile, whether they're having a bad day or not. So, and I kind of make people uncomfortable on purpose when I do that.
Okay, high five, a virtual high five. Here we go. Boom. Boom, right? Bam, boom. There we go. Yeah, that was an incredible moment at the lake. Who would have ever known that would have gone like it was? But there was just that goose was calling, okay, I'm really curious who you are. And then it was like, okay, let's connect. So we connected. And then the goose literally led me over to its buddy.
Yeah. I think if Noelle, she knows who she is. If she was probably on this, she'd be like, well, it's all about energy, right? So it's one who Tamara is. At the same time, it's different things can feel energy. So Like, they kind of probably knew that your energy was really warm, really loving. So, and they kind of tend to go towards that. So,
Oh, thank you. That's what, that's what we want. We want everybody to come towards Chemo Buddies for Life that needs us. Those buddies that are out there that are right now alone, don't be. Come to, because we're here. It's just like the elf on the shelf has a buddy. We have each other. We're buddies. Our community has each other. We are building a community of buddies, one buddy at a time, that is now going to, at some point in time, be global, be throughout the world. But don't ever think we're too big or not big enough, that you're not going to matter, because everybody matters and everybody needs a hug. So we are asking for people to come and share the love, share a hug. Go to cb4l.org and share. Oh, Aaron's always now doing that. I love it. Tamara love. Well, Aaron love, and pay it forward with a hug, smile, or a high five. I love it, Carol. Thank you. And Brenda Merriweather. Hello. Loving the love. And so as we start to close up our fun virtual video extravaganza today, what would you like to leave everybody with right now? I mean, because you now, you have such a unique place that you, and what we'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and treat everybody, and I'm gonna upload your little dance, and then I'm gonna put it in the comments.
Sounds good.
Okay, so
game.
everybody's got to see. There's a bit of a shake your booty kind of thing going on in there, and I love it. So let that be one of our holiday gifts for everybody, because it truly is, and it's going to make everybody smile. You talk about someone wanting to smile. You cannot smile. You cannot have a frown. That frown's going to turn upside down by watching Kev Bev, and his little rendition of "I Will." So as we end, what kind of words of wisdom would you like to close us out with?
I'll kind of leave this way. Think about, at least for a minute in silence, the people that led you to become who you are, right? There's no one person that, caused you to be who you are. It's a multitude of people. And so to really take just like a moment of silence, just like maybe a minute or 10 seconds, right? To think about those people that contributed to your journey, your success, because it really does give you an opportunity to reflect. Everybody's going to go to a different place in their life and think of certain people in their lives that may have altered the direction of which they were going, right? And here's the key: is just being able to be grateful and be thankful, because who knows? Maybe somebody gave you a hug that led you to, stop doing something that you may not have thought even possible, right? One action or one inaction does have an impact. So, right, who can you hug today, or who can you give a high five to, right? I challenge each one of you to actually give someone a hug, whether it's, obviously we want you to give a hug so that, CB for life can continue, right? But also, it doesn't have to physically be on a show such as this. You can literally go out into the world, give someone a hug, and literally that one hug could alter the world. Right?
Absolutely.
Right? Because you don't know the battles that people are going through. Right? You really don't. And the only way that you know is to actually do something that's outside of your comfort zone, like dancing in front of a camera. So I never used to do stuff in front of a camera. It wasn't until I had a mentor come in, it really pushed and stretched me for me to do that. And look at the difference that that person has made, where I can dance in front of a camera and create joyfulness, being happy, right? Because I can transfer into someone else, right? So one person makes a difference, and that's who you are. So there you go. Back to you, Tamara Hunter.
Wow. Wow. You know what? This time, this hour, this morning, I just want to say how much I love you. You are such a light in my life, and every single time I visit with you, I feel like I have been so well fed, so inspired, had a lot of laughs and giggles and a few tears even, because you just bring all over the place. And that is a talent and a gift with a T. that but you can turn the other into a gift. Yeah, Carol actually mentioned that just a few moments ago, your dance. Just watch. I hope we have some press releases on this one, or and video releases. It's okay to use your video, right?
Yes, go for it.
All right, my dear. I just want to say how much you mean to me, how grateful I am. Thank you for telling the stories that you've told. And, you know, everybody out there today, please, if nothing else, give someone a high five, give someone a smile, open a door, be a service hero, give a hug. And if you're inspired, give a hug to one of our buddies. Come to our site, donate a hug, write a comment, and give a virtual hug. A hug through your words, a hug from your heart for someone that really right now could truly use it. Go out and make it a great day.
Yay. Do it.
Love you. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.